chewing me off, 'cause you ain't so cute, you got no class. I don't need no money, I mean anything, anything. Oh, no, oh, no, no, I don't like you as you can see, but you know all I want is an apology. Oh yeah, don't be wrong, and you know all I can do is just sing this song. Now you go with every redhead in town. How dare you give me a run around? Think I ain't got nothing better to do than wait around for you.
pizza won't be here.
Picking those up like a bluer.
Oh, 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 oh.
Picking those up, you feel too well.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh.
You won't drink it.
Oh, oh, oh.
I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it 'cause I'm lazy. Got me to refrigerator. Don't need it up in the oven.
No pizza won't be here.
I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it, call me crazy.
No pizza won't be here. Pizza won't be. No pizza won't be here.
I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it 'cause I'm lazy. 'Cause I'm lazy.
I do it 'cause I'm lazy.
I'm lazy.
I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it 'cause I'm lazy. I do it 'cause I'm lazy. No pizza won't be here.
Had a dream the other night. You were there in the light. I was down, running around, searching for the next underground. Now you see me, now you go. Say the code, no war. What goes up must come down. With the count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This man will suck us up into minus. This man will suck us up into minus. Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Yeah! Woo! Had a dream the other night. You were there in the light. I was down, running around, searching for the next underground. Now you see me, now you know. So good, no war. What goes up, must come down. With the count 5, 4, 3, 2. This man will self destruct and minus. This man will self destruct and minus. I never thought I'd reach out Theya. I thought I showed up like a super. No Ozcat.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Last night I heard you. I heard you talking in your sleep again. The weight you carry, the weight you carry will break your back again. Believe me when I say it's hard for me. Hold the candle for me tonight. Heard you when you said don't leave, and I know you want to trust me, but this contact's everything. What does it mean to stay? Let's just hold our hands. Voices that go on and on. This contact's everything. What does it mean to stay? Heard you when you said don't leave, and I know you want to trust me, but this contact's everything. What does it mean to stay? I don't ever wanna change. Lying down to ignition. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me. Just look me in my teeth and let me go. Last night I heard you again. Burn the candle for me. Hold the candle for me. Don't say it, never say it. You say it to me.
Rock it.
Phantom queens are clad in black cape, serve you the brew the witch doctor make. Come a bit closer, dance if you dare. 'Tis the season of the phantom. All must beware, like a wolfman, baby. Like a wolfman, I'll go make you scream like you never screamed before. I'll make you loud, make some more. If I die, I'm gonna make you howl like a wolf man do. Howl like a wolf man do. Howl like a wolf man do. Howl like a wolf man. All right.
Outside the window of heaven, let's still am I the only one I know? I don't know. Can't you feel with anyone I can love? Please let me know. Can't you feel with anyone I can love? Please let me know. I know there's Minnesota nights and all that gold, but I can't have a weekend night. That's how it goes. Can't you feel with anyone I remember? Please let me know. Can't you feel with anyone I remember? Please let me know. Well, I want to be with you, even if no one's there. 'Cause I spent some time with you, and I noticed all the things I do, things I do, things I do. And I want to be by you, even if no one's there. 'Cause I spent some time with you, and I noticed all the things I do, things I do, things I do. See, bringing it up is
The wizard in the woods has your name written in his book. In the shadow of the limbs, all the creatures flock to him. Get with it, the weird wood spirit. Get up in it, the weird wood spirit. The giants of the land with their twisting tree trunk hands. In a kingdom built from leaves, raise your fist if you believe. Get with it, the weird wood spirit. Get up in it, the weird wood spirit. On the evening of your birth, tentacles up from the earth cast a shadow on the moon. It was the warlock in the womb. Get with it, the weird Get up in it, the Weirdwood spirit. The heartbeat of a stone, red and steady as a rose. Fairy frolics in the park, down a path of black root dark. Get with it, the Weirdwood spirit. Get up in it, the Weirdwood spirit. Men can come with their machines, try to cut down all our dreams, but the wizard has a way, gonna turn their heads to clay. Get with it, the Weirdwood spirit. Get up in it, the Weirdwood spirit. Get down on it, the Weirdwood spirit.
What I want is you tonight, but you don't care. You just wanna fight. Then you're gone, but my love is strong. And you see that I've been crying, but then I go and have a good time. And my love is strong, so baby, come on. We're so lonely, can't you see that we're gonna die since you called and I said goodbye. And someday soon, when I see you, I won't care. I won't care. I just smile from ear to ear. I'll just smile.
Guitars, guitars, guitars. Nothing gets rid of those pandemic blues like a new vintage guitar. Come on down to Real Guitars and get yourself a real guitar. 15 Lafayette Street off Mission in San Francisco. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to
5-ish.
realguitars.com. On Instagram at Real Guitars.
Do you like vintage clothing? We like vintage clothing. You should buy vintage clothing and stuff here at Heads or Tails. Not sure what to get your friends for their birthdays? Get them some sweet-ass accessories. They have zines for you avid readers and the Bay Area's hottest music. Check out this rack of vintage clothing. Buy it! Buy it all! Buy it here at Heads or Tails Collective in Oakland.
I wanna tell you about my favorite chicken place. Every time you go, you see a familiar face. When I go, I get my fix. They got fried chicken, drumsticks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Talking Schmidt live at the Complex with me, your host, Schmitty, the host of Talking Schmidt on Ozcat Radio of Vallejo, California fame. 89.5 FM, KZCT Vallejo. You can check it out every Monday at 3 p.m. when I'm not busy busting my ass out in this city trying to make a living. But that's the way it goes. You know, you gotta roll with the punches sometimes. So I'm trying to get back into the studio and have some more fun at Ozcat, but gotta pay the bills. We are very happy to be here tonight. It is a beautiful night full of the stars here, and we're ready to have some fun with you fine folks. So let's dive right in to the festivities of this evening. We'll get into the band in just a little bit, but first, I'd like to do a new segment on the show. It's called Schmitty's Appreciation Segment. I feel like there's so much negativity going on in the world right now that it takes zero effort to take a moment out of your day to be appreciative of the things that you have. Because there's so many good things that happen to us on a day-to-day basis and so many good things happening in our community that it's important to pay some homage. Homage, that's the word, not homage. It almost sounds like, I don't know what an homage is. I'm working on it. I'm very tired, by the way. I've been up since about 4 a.m. this morning. It's going to be a fun show, so bear with me. Until then, let's get to our appreciation segment, starting off with a shout out to all of our local 16 stagehand IATSE workers. That is a union I'm a part of. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to all the people. It's been a very busy week in our industry out here in the city. People have been working doubles, graveyards, 10 hours, 12-hour shifts, people just making these events happen for the community and the people coming to this city. So I want to give a quick shout out to some of those people. Shout out to Pete and Phil and Ian and Tanji and Austin and Drew and all the guys that I am very honored and privileged to work with side by side. It takes a lot to make this thing work, whether you're doing the Laver Cup stuff or Portola Fest or Workday. All these things are coming into play, and it takes a village of very skilled and not so skilled individuals, but I'm learning, and that's the whole point of this. Shout out to all you hard workers out there. And speaking of hard workers, shout out to the BART conductors / operators. I feel that is a very thankless job, and without them, a whole lot of people's lives would be much worse. When you're running properly, the service that you provide is invaluable to this community. Not only does it make my life easier by being the most cost-effective way to transport into the city in the most time-efficient way, but it also makes so many other people's lives better in the Bay Area by helping eliminate some of that Bay Area traffic for some of those who don't live close enough. And it's just nothing worse than trying to leave the house at 7 a.m. to get to San Francisco at 9 p.m. It's not going to happen. And no one should have to commute over 2 hours to go 30 miles to work, 40 miles. It's insane, guys. So shout out to the BART conductors. We appreciate you. Please, for the love of God, if you're out there listening and you're in the power of being able to give BART money, I know there's this thing going on where they're talking about not being able to get this grant for about $790 million that they need. If they don't get that, we're going to be losing the Richmond BART service and I believe the Berryessa BART service. They're talking about stopping running BART at 9 p.m. No weekend trains? Guys, we got to keep this train afloat. Please, right? Your congressman, whoever, if you know who to talk to, we need this money for BART. It's very, very important. So if you're a political person or an activist and you know how to reach out to that, please tell me how and I will happily promote it for all of our BART passengers. But appreciation to the BART conductors. And last but not least, I want to do a quick shout out to our man of the hour, the guy who makes all this possible, Mr. George Rosenthal. I know he hates when I talk about him on camera, but George is the absolute man. I mean, we wouldn't be here without his generosity and genuine love for all things Bay Area music. That is a fact you can't deny. And I don't believe I know anybody who is basically like more committed to his craft while simultaneously teaching and educating the community and his peers with all the knowledge that he's gained over the year. He's not a gatekeeper. George is very much happy to spread the wealth and get everyone on the same page so we can have the best things like this, like Talking Schmidt live at the Complex, What's Poppin' live at the Complex, Infinite G and the Freestyle Flow Fest. You know what I'm talking about. We got a lot of good stuff here, and a lot of that is possible because of George, Alana, and the crew that is here. So I want to give a special shout out. And plus, George is just the sweetest guy in the world.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's the sweetest. We love George. Mwah! Thank you, brother. We appreciate you being here. Man, giving appreciations. Feels good, right? Right? All right, that's it for me on the appreciations. Let's get to a little bit of information here. As you know, we like to promote and broadcast local shows that are happening here in the Bay Area. And I have got some good picks for you. Starting off with an official pick going on Friday, September 19th. It's going to be happening at 924 Gilman out in Berkeley. We've got Ashes Fallen, Talking Schmidt live at the Complex alumni, That Band Frank. We've also got Normal Weirds and Vice Versa. They're going to be on the stage at Gilman this Friday. $15, 7 p.m. doors. Get there and have a good time, damn it. If you see That Band Frank, go buy some merch. Buy all the merch from all four of the bands. Bring $1,000 and clear out all the merch booths. Be that amazing person because it's definitely needed right now. We got to support these arts, damn it. That's the trick. But if you're not on that side of the bridge and you're on the San Francisco side of things, which many of you probably are right now, you can also go check out one of the best named cover bands I've ever heard, Pete Floyd, which as soon as I heard that, I just pictured all of them dressed as different cast members from the show Pete and Pete that was on Nickelodeon growing up. They need to be doing that. They probably won't be, but if you see them at the show, they're going to be at the chapel on Friday at 8 p.m. doors, 9 p.m. showtime. It's about $30 at the door. Plus, my dear friend Lance, the Mad Alchemy Liquid Light specialist himself, is going to be doing visuals the entire evening. It's going to be awesome. His visuals with Pink Floyd's music, surefire guaranteed hit. Make sure you check that out. I do have another show coming up on the 20th, but we will talk about that in a little bit. We'll go further in depth on that. I don't want to, pardon the French here, I don't want to blow my load on this one. So we're gonna save it. We're gonna get back to that, and we will talk fully in depth about that. But we got some other shows happening as well on Saturday, like out at the Ivy Room in Albany. We got our friends in the lighting section in Mid-Course Correction, as well as Mind the Court and Unresolved. That's going to be a 7:30 doors, 8 p.m. showtime, probably around $10-15 a ticket. Make sure you go out to that if you're in the area. And also, before all that, at 2 p.m. right here in San Francisco, this little band, arguably the biggest band of all time, depending on who you talk to, and especially if you're talking to the band members themselves, the Hives are going to be at Amoeba doing a free signing. You don't have to pay anything. Maybe you have to buy the new record or something like that. That's usually how a signing thing goes. You come in, you buy the record, and the band sits there. I saw them last November at the Bimbo's 365. One of the best rock and roll shows I've ever seen. I was telling Alana here that all of these stagehands, when they were running out to like fix a cable or like a guitar strap, they were all in full ninja gear, which I think is the greatest. That should be the work uniform for anyone working a live event who has to be on stage. Just full ninja gear with the mask and everything. It was a lot of fun. They were awesome. So if you guys want to go out to Amoeba on Saturday, that's happening at 2 p.m. for a free Hives sighting and signing. We got some more shows coming up, but we're gonna touch bases on that at the second break. You know, space it out a little bit because I know you're all excited for our guests here tonight. And boy, are we here at the Complex. Incredibly excited to have them here. It's going to be a great night of music. So let's get straight to our intro speech. As you know, I like to write a little personal thing for each of the bands, let them know I appreciate their time by coming on the show and doing this. So I spent a couple hours sitting down, writing some stuff out, and here's what we got for today's episode. So let me clear my throat officially, and here we go. By the blessings of the heavens and the almighty gods of rock and roll that came before us, we have a very special episode of Talking Schmidt tonight. I think I'm getting my enunciation wrong. That's all right. We'll figure it out as we go. One that will make angels weep tears of joy and the devil himself dance with his fiddle made of gold. For tonight's entertainment, the skies have been parted to make way for the oncoming barrage of thunderous and pulsating rhythms, the otherworldly bellowing and howling of the 4- and 6-stringed guitar beasts, and the one vocalist brave enough to lead the forefront of this band of heavy hitters directly into the gauntlet that lays before them tonight, which is no small task. Coming from a long and prestigious lineage of, and I quote, bands with one-word names that are heavy as fuck, like bands from the 60s and 70s, Heart, Mountain, and Steppenwolf himself, the man credited with coining the term heavy metal in his hit song Born to Be Wild. The true and original pioneers of rock and roll that helped pave the way for their ferocious riffs and siren-like vocals to help create the foundation for what would become the genre known as heavy music. Or maybe their students are what you're thinking of, bands like Sleep, Slayer, Metallica, and even local Bay Area legend Psychic Hit. Bands that studied in the arts of heavy music and learned from the original fire starters, keeping the torch lit as it is passed on to them, allowing their monstrous attack to continue this heavy growth of a genre into new levels of popularity and accessibility that nobody thought possible before. And you can't even think about heavy metal music without mentioning the word Lemmy, so I can't even get started on that. I'm going to have to put my foot down there. I can't. It's Lemmy. You got to be... Anyways, my point is tonight's band is taking part in a long and prestigious tradition in entering the gauntlet, being passed the torch by the rock gods to continue in the name of all things heavy. Their talent is undeniable, all the while mesmerizing the listener with their style of music that is just full tilt, rocking the fuck out loud and proud. To everyone at home watching, now would be a proper time to let your long hair down, open up the pit in your fucking living rooms, and crank your televisions to 11, because it's just one more than 10, isn't it? It is my honor and privilege finally bringing to the stage your guests for tonight's episode of Talking Schmidt live at the Complex. Everybody, I give you the one and only Theya. Enjoy! Let's go, everybody!
it takes a power of your kind. Turn it through the mind. Lost it to the consciousness divine. And the passage home. Still another chance to survive. Chaos and good, joy, confusion. Well, you could have it all. Money, power, love, illusion. Until the branches fall, beauty, danger, fear, illusion. You know it's all the same. Freedom, madness, all your father. We're at the end of the lane. Here we go. Repeat your breath of the everyday things that know they'll drive you insane. Just close your eyes and step inside the old tree at the end of the lane. Meet me across the bridge of life and come to feel your crying eyes. Don't fear your mind, there's a world inside. He's by a hole in the sky. Lead into the truth you can't control. Gather up the darkness in your
Theya. What a warm welcome from the complex. And a hell of an introduction. Thanks, Jacob.
Man, I can't believe all that just came off the top of his head.
I know.
I think Tolkien
Dang.
wrote it. I think he's just plagiarizing from a Tolkien book.
Please put that on my tombstone.
They're going to interview
Note
us
that now.
about slaying dragons.
Well, that's what we do for our occupations outside of this band. You ready for Myth of I? You ready to get mythical, Complex SF? Oh, this song's about Inanna. And all of us, actually. You better Google Inanna. This is called Myth of I. got mythical together. Thank you. We're gonna do a
That
little
was
switch.
absolutely incredible. I had to jump on for a second. I can't be letting you guys have all the fun on screen right now. That is absolutely
Schmitty.
incredible. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that last song you performed for our fine listeners at home?
Oh goodness, that last song is about the goddess Inanna. Are you familiar with her?
I am not, but it's good to know I have some homework to do tonight. I'll make sure and write that down. I'll have you spell it out for me because I'm a terrible speller, but
We're a
I'm
bunch
happy
of-
to learn. What do we got?
We're a bunch of history nerds here in Theya. I'd just like to put on the record, which is probably obvious from our songs. Inanna has a pretty mystical journey to the underworld, like many of our goddesses. And she's able to come back.
You know, like when you stumble out of bed and you're like, I need to go downstairs to the convenience store to get a beer.
Well, that's where we're getting a little bit of this insight here, everybody. We're trying to learn a little bit more, and we will learn more about Theya this evening. But for now, we've got plenty more music to enjoy from this fine act tonight. Everyone up here is absolutely just... We knew it was going to be good, but we didn't know how good it was going to sound. You guys sound absolutely amazing up here, and to our listeners at home, you're absolutely crushing it. We really appreciate you guys coming in and doing the show and taking times out of your busy, history nerd-filled schedules to be a part of what we're doing here, which is our music, San Francisco Bay Area nerd stuff. So we're nerding out together. We're crossing bridges here. We're building new bridges. It's a very bridge-friendly town, San Francisco. So we're on track, I feel like. How many more? I think you got another song or two, perhaps?
We got one more song.
We got one more song before
and this is a little treat too, Schmitty, because
Ooh.
this is actually not a Theya original, but it means a lot to this band, I would say. Let's see if you recognize it, and then we'll talk about it after we play it.
Sounds like a plan. Everybody, Theya, right here. Follow them on Instagram, Theya_band. It's all the goodness. Let's go right back to it. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, please enjoy your guests. Theya this
This is
evening.
called Caught in the Middle. Looking inside of yourself, you might see someone you don't know. Ooh, baby, it's just what you do, letting the river in you flow. You can sail away to the sun, let it burn you while it can. I walk along the hill like the hero who never ran. You feel it, you feel it, you feel the rush of it all, yeah. Whoa. You're flying your way in the clouds. You know you're losing your control, and finding your way in the dark, like some poor forgotten soul. You feel it, you see it, you feel the rush of the city lights. You feel it, I see it in your eyes.
The rush of the thunder brings you under. They'll suck out the spine. Look out there in the middle. Caught in the middle, trapped in the middle again. Oh my love, yeah. Ooh, you've been caught in the middle. Thank you. Yeah. Yow! Pull up my britches.
That was incredible, and apparently some britches are getting pulled up, so you know shit's getting serious, everybody. We are not messing around here. That is Theya, everybody. We will hear some more music from them coming up in a little bit, as you know. We like to do it, and we like to space it out here for you fine folks. Give you the full Talking Schmidt experience here. So we're gonna take a little breather. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna cut to a commercial. All right, that's the plan here. But before we go to that commercial break, I do have some more shows here I'd like to announce for you fine folks, because we got some more plugs on some more stuff coming up. So not this week, but the following week, Wednesday, September 24th is where we're starting off at. We're going to be at the Uptown Theater in Napa. One of the greatest guitar players of all time, the legendary Robin Trower, is going to be in the Bay Area. If you don't know who Robin Trower is, go look up Bridge of Sighs. That entire record will just melt your face. And Billy Duar, I think, was the vocalist bass player. Absolutely incredible power. Like his voice, the three-piece band, just I'm smooching it all over. I'm telling you, this is a show. If only everyone picked up the audible groan that came from next to me. I love you, Alana. You're the best. It's going to be at 7 p.m. for the doors, 8 p.m. show time at the Uptown Theater in Napa. Again, Wednesday, September 24th. And also that day, that is my father's birthday. Russell Arthur Schmidt. Love you, Pops. I appreciate everything you've done and continue to do for me and the family. We love you. Happy birthday. I know it's a week away, but I wanted to get this on film and let you know I love you from the bottom of my heart. Happy birthday to you, old man. We will be doing some fun stuff, some kind of, dinner, festivities. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get back to the shows, because that following Thursday on the 25th of September, out in San Francisco at Bottom of the Hill, we've got Mr. Gnome, one of my favorite bands around right now who just kind of started popping up recently, Pink Breath of Heaven, Green Door, and Goyri is doing the visuals for that show. 21 and up only, 18 in advance, $20 at the door, 8 p.m. doors with the show starting at 8:30. Again, not this Thursday, but Thursday, September 25th, next Thursday, at Bottom of the Hill in San Francisco. And then that Saturday, September 27th, guess where we're going back to? Bottom of the Hill. Who'd have thunk it? It's a popular little venue. There's a lot of stuff going on there. We're going to have some soon-to-be friends of the show. They were supposed to be on the show in June, but unfortunately, lots of illnesses and everything was going on. I got sick. There was a bunch of stuff, so we had to reschedule. We're going to get them on next year. But Modern Monsters are going to be headlining a show with Devil in California, who also rips, and Velvet Grave, all 21 and up only, 13 in advance, 15 at the door. Show starts at 9 p.m. with the doors at 8:30. Go out to Bottom of the Hill on Saturday, September 27th. And then Sunday, September 28th, at the Ivy Room in Albany, one of the best. Go check out a band who I don't really know. I'm going to admit, I don't know this band, but they have a great name. So we're going to get Scott H. Bierum is going to be headlining. And then we have Sasquatch and the Sickabillies. I have no idea who this band are. I don't know what they sound like, but I love them already just because of the name. And that one's also 21 and up only, $25 with the doors at 7:30 and the show at 8 p.m. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick commercial break here, and then we're going to cut down to the couch in about 5-6 minutes, and we're going to be talking with the artist known as Theya. So stick around. It's going to be a good time. We're having fun. If you like what you see here, make sure you follow us on Twitch. Make sure you follow the Complex SF, all that good stuff on Instagram as well. YouTube, look them up, the Complex SF. Make sure you follow me at Talking Schmidt Live on Instagram. I'm only on Instagram. I don't do anything else. If you see me on anything else, report it to the police. It's fake news, or whatever the kids are saying. So anyways, we're going to go right to our segment, our little commercial break. We'll be back. Don't touch that dial. BRB with Talking Schmidt Live at the Complex.
I've been working on myself. Working on myself. Working on myself for a lifetime. I'm not for everyone, but but I'm still gonna have my fun out here in the summer sun. Maybe you're the one I can hold on to, 'cause I've been breaking down and building up, energize my mind, following a faith that's lost in the trees of time, discipline to find the freedom in my stride for a lifetime. Ain't about if it's good enough. Can't be a diamond if you ain't survived the rough. You're the one I'm thinking of. Oh, could this be love? This must be love. Could it be love? When I look in the mirror, what do I see? Could it be love? Could it be? Could it be love? Could it be? 'Cause I've been working on myself. Working on myself. Working on myself. And I'm alright. Oh, sacred to mine. Oh, could it be love? This must be love. Could it be Could it be love? Guess this tattered heart of mine hasn't given up. When I'm around you, feel so insecure. But I'll line that fly, flex it, give me more. Calm down, sweet little thing. You're the one I adore. Got my body fizzling. Can't take no more, no more. Oh my baby, yes. You're the one I adore. Got my body fizzling. Can't take no more. No more. No more. Oh my baby, yes. You're the one I adore. Got my body fizzling. Can't take much more. Oh my baby, yes. You're the one I adore. Got my body fizzling. Can't take much more. No more. No more.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Complex here in beautiful downtown San Francisco. I am your pal, Steve Ward Moore, and this is What's Poppin', the Bay Area's arts and entertainment talk show. Each episode features hilarious and insightful interviews with local Bay Area celebrities. Also, the people behind the scenes of the coolest venues and events happening in the Bay Area. We have a brand new house band that comes in to perform live for us right here and for you at home on your devices. Join us every other Monday, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Be a part of the revolution, be a part of the family, and you never know who's gonna stop by the studio over here.
DJs are nice and the songs are good, and it's right in your neighborhood. So if you love music and you love friends, listen to BFF.FM.
Soundwaves, the long-running Bay Area music brand, is partnered with the Complex Recording Studio in San Francisco to showcase weekly live performances shot at the Complex SF and to further shine a light on the wild, wonderful Bay Area music scene. Watch full episodes at soundwavestv.com or at 1077thebone.com. Find out more about the Complex at thecomplex-sf.com.
Do you like vintage clothing? We like vintage clothing. You should buy vintage clothing and stuff here at Heads or Tails. Not sure what to get your friends for their birthdays? Get them some sweet-ass accessories. They have zines for you avid readers and the Bay Area's hottest music. Check out this rack of vintage clothing. Buy it! Buy it all! Buy it here at Heads or Tails Collective in Oakland.
Welcome back, everybody. We are officially at the second portion of the show, the interview portion of Talking Schmidt live at the Complex. I'm your host, DJ Schmitty, and joining us today, the incorrigible, the one and only Theya Band is in the studio. Thank you so much for being here. Why don't we start here with you and introduce yourselves down the line real quick. We'll do a quick name intro, and when we say your name and your instrument that you play, in case for the people who are just now joining us, maybe.
Absolutely. My name is Mick. I play lead drums.
Lead drums, indeed.
My name's Tula, and for all guitar nerds out there, I play a baritone guitar.
Ooh, okay, we'll get to that. We were talking about your guitar a little bit upstairs. We'll touch bases on that, but next.
Ooh, that was sexy. How am I going to top that? My name is Sam. I am the lead vocalist of Theya.
Yes.
I'm Michael. I play bass.
You damn straight. And you, sir, at the very end right there.
I'm Toby, and I'm the second guitar, and it's a normal guitar.
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily just a normal guitar. It's a Flying V, which is about as rock and roll of a guitar as you can get, I would say.
Yeah,
that's pretty badass.
We just added Toby in on second guitar.
We sure did.
Yeah, you were saying this was about your third gig with the band now, roughly? Second, third gig? How you liking the spots so far?
Oh, it's a great time. It's wonderful. Yeah.
I was going to say, with support like that, I think you're in the right place, my friend.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm playing with strangers. It's people I've known for a bit. So
Right, that's what my question was. So have you guys all known each other before starting the band? Like, how did this lineup come to be?
Do you guys want to? You guys start that because Michael and Tula kind of started. Theya,
I
we've all
texted Tula one day.
accumulated.
I knew she wasn't playing music, and I had a band that I was in had just folded, and our bands had been playing together for years. I think since probably 1999.
When I was 4.
Yeah, when she was 4 and I was 12.
You guys are prodigies. Don't let them fool you.
You're a late millennial. Look at you.
So I texted her and said, "Hey, I want to play some heavy music. I want to play like doom and new wave of British heavy metal."
Yeah,
and she's like, "Yes, I've been wanting to do that. I want to play doom, except I want to change chords more."
Right, exactly. I want to have a little bit of
I don't want to play one note.
Yeah.
So we got together and started writing.
And how long ago was that when you guys first started this? Like, what year did you guys start forming this band?
18?
18, when I was 8 years old.
Sounds about right. Do the math.
I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like the age is jumping a little bit.
it's all right. It's all just a number. It's all about how you feel anyways. I am only 35.
I'm not going to come to your 21st birthday.
Oh.
I am
So then we lost our drummer.
Oh, okay.
And I've been playing with
literally,
this
like,
guy
in the
for
woods,
30 years.
Just wandered off one day.
Yeah.
He was behind the couch. They just didn't look
Fair enough. He was really good. He was a hide and go.
Use your microphone.
Hide and seek professional.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So you guys were out a drummer, and you're thinking, okay, we got to obviously pivot and make this happen. So what was the next step?
Mick has been in my life for literally 30 years, maybe more. He's my best friend, best man at my wedding. Been in 20 million bands together, or
like 19.
19.5 million. Yeah. It's easy to lose track with all the years and so many band names and everything like that. Actually, speaking of band names, were there any other band names that you guys were working on before you landed on your current band name? I know that's like a fun.
We should say how we came to the current band name. So, are you?
How did you come to the current band name?
That's a great question, Bob.
Thank
Are
you.
you a Game of Thrones fan?
Unfortunately, I missed that entire lane.
You can say no. You'll.
No, I missed it all. I watched like the first season, and then I just never picked it up after
You know,
that.
they
but-
had a whole language. They got like linguistics experts at Stanford to make this whole language called Dothraki.
Okay.
I told you we were nerds.
No, absolutely. Trust me. I know my way around a D20 every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm good.
So we found this whole list of words, and we just really like Theya, and it means nipple.
Oh, are you kidding me? That's
Right.
the perfect name for it.
Great.
All the other words had like 4 vowels and a apostrophe next to each other, and then
Right, like I'm trying to like transcribe like Shakespearean language
the
or
only
something
one
like
that was like a single syllable and felt good in your mouth.
Yeah.
Theya.
Yeah, no, it very much has a very
Wow,
good roll
it
off the
does feel
tongue
good
to
in
it.
the
so.
mouth.
I mean, I have a couple extra band names if you want. Like, I really like Bipolar Bear. No one's done it yet. And I like.
Yeah.
Don't give it up.
Yes,
We're live on the
Hey,
air.
that is trademark.
in your
Don't you
back
dare.
pocket.
And I also have the Dead Sea Squirrels. So anyone, go for it.
Alrighty, well at least we're getting a little bit of the history here from you, and I'm going to actually talk directly about one of your songs because I was playing it with a friend of mine and heard a very interesting thing at the very end of one of your songs titled Permafrost. Just recently in the last year, just saw this random movie featuring Sean Connery.
Oh.
And all of a sudden I started hearing this quote in the background, and they go, wait a minute, is that a fucking Zardos quote at the end of a heavy
Yes,
metal?
it is.
What? So I want to make sure I phrase this correctly. What is the significance of this movie to the band, and what made you put this quote from the film Zardos at the end of that song?
Not to give this to Michael again, but
Guilty.
Michael, I feel like you are responsible for this.
He's the man who has the Zardos plan.
But Sam
Yes.
is really our film expert. So
That's
we take
true.
Both
Okay,
tackle it.
a
That's
big
true.
cinephile on this guy.
Yeah.
I feel like once I saw that, I had a feeling you guys kind of will be able to pull from a lot of different things. Not necessarily just other music, like you said, the British New Wave and all that obviously is a heavy influence, but like movies and art and poetry and literature, like does all that stuff kind of inspire you as well? Or are you guys really trying to focus on the music side of things more? But
Our plan was when Michael and I, like our first rule, we're like, we're not going to sing about drugs or partying. We're going to write.
Or love. No
Yeah.
love
Yeah, no
songs,
love
not really.
try to get away from some of the cliche stuff or not cliche, nothing wrong with cliche, but just it's been done before. You're like, I'm not going to rewrite that wheel. Like, let's move over.
See, what I kind of wanted to do was play really heavy music that sounds like Satan is singing to you.
Absolutely.
And write really sweet, happy lyrics.
No, absolutely. I think that's great. That's like Tom Waits' quote that says, I love beautiful melodies, or beautiful melodies telling me terrible things. And I think that's a great, like, artist vision of what you should strive for. It's like, I want to have balance. I want dichotomy. And I think you guys definitely have that. Because like you said, there are chord changes and there's nice, like, uplifting moments in your song, and then gives you that breathing and just kind of like the halftime. You guys have a very good style, and you know how to do what you're doing very well. So I must say, kudos to you guys. Your execution on your music is fantastic.
Thank you, Schmitty.
That being, I do what I can. I'm very happy to have you guys here. Like I said, it's nice. We were talking upstairs. Like, it's nice to have some female-fronted vocalists on this band. It is kind of a sausage fest sometimes. Not by my own choosing. It's just, we book, bands say yes. We say, come on. Like, we'll have anyone on. I don't really have a genre, or I'll break that down to the folks at home. They always say, do I have to be a rock and roll band or anything? You can play jazz. You can play acoustic guitar. You can do whatever you want as long as it's you performing your music in its entirety. Happy to have you on. If you want to be on the show, email talkingschmidtlive@gmail.com or hit me up on Instagram @talkingschmidtlive, which is how everyone does, because who emails nowadays?
Well, sometimes outside.
Occasionally we do.
There's nothing. I think it's great. I think it's a solid way. It keeps it nice and uniform and neat and organized, but everything's Instagram messaging, and that's fine as well.
Sometimes when we're outside, when we're getting ready, and people come up to me and they're like, "Are you an all-girl band?" And I say, "Yes." And then they come
Yes.
to watch, and they're like, "Man, that's an ugly chick." Like, is that a chick?
Well, and then the dim lighting, like some nights, especially after a couple
never
drinks,
know.
you're like,
Bay Area.
I don't know if it's, I can't tell the gender of the person on stage, but I like what I'm hearing. And I think that's the important thing here is that, exactly,
You guys have great heads of hair as well. Mick excluded.
Well, I mean,
currently. Currently.
Again, it's all about dichotomy. You got to have light to go with the dark as well. So I'll let you.
Someone had to be bald, and I had to. It was.
Oh, really? That we had to have one bald band member? That's how it works.
Just one.
It's
mandatory.
Nowadays, it is in the
Take
band
notes.
bylaws.
This isn't Midnight Oil,
This is the law.
It's in the
I don't write
updated bylaws book of being a band. Unfortunately, you have to have one member. But in this case, fortunately, you are a shredder, my good sir. So you guys have been killing it. Let's talk about a little bit of like how you guys got your overall sound. Like, was it a pretty easy decision? Like you said, you guys came together and kind of had a pretty clear, concise direction, or was there some kind of fine tuning and crafting to really figure out what you guys wanted to do tonally with this project?
Magic.
Craft. I think that's honestly what makes a good band is having that
witchcraft.
Like having that just, I don't know what this is, but it all clicked perfectly. And sometimes the stars are in alignment, and the best way to describe that is just magic. So you say magic would be the ultimate secret ingredient?
Well, we had one witch, we needed another because we were like just a 3-piece for a while.
Okay.
With the drummer that we killed. I mean, got lost. And
got lost 6 feet under in the woods.
Sacrifice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a metal band. This is heavy, right?
We should let Sam tell you too about her, role into the band because I really liked the idea of like the 2 women and the 2 dudes in the dark and the light and like. So yeah, it worked out.
We've got a heart thing going on, like a Wilson sisters, right? Just
100%.
Blonde and brunette. Can we go back to back? Okay, we're not
the
getting
power
shot,
couple
but
is alive
you
on
get
this
the
couch.
idea.
Like the forefront. Like that's why I gave them as a heavy influence because I feel like Heart gets slept on a lot when people think about
They really
heavy
do.
music.
Players?
Oh
Are you
my
kidding
God.
me?
Are you
I kid
kidding?
you
And
not.
vocalists? Are you kidding
I'm
me?
going to show you this right now.
Please.
This is what the background on my phone is. It is literally the guitar player.
Oh, her hair
it's
looks.
been my background. It's first of all, it's
Her
just
hair looks so great,
I was gonna
too.
say I used to have long hair and it was just like that.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like, man, I gotta cut this because I cannot rock it nearly as good as she does. But that's been my phone background forever. I mean, Heart is so instrumental and we're such pioneers and just like everything rock and roll. They were the fun party band, but they could also get in your face and rock as loud as anyone. Doesn't matter if it was the boys or the girls. They just held their own.
Oh, when I was a kid, I would watch videos. And I remember I was like, it's dudes. Okay, it's dudes playing guitar. And I'm like, but there's one. There's a woman. She's doing it. She's doing it.
She's doing it. There's representation finally, and not in like a traditional like skimpy dancing on the stage like that. No, they are the ones controlling the power, and they are the ones showing you that we are not afraid to rock just as hard as anyone else. So
Oddly enough, too, I feel like the Bay Area music community, we've all played in bands together for 15 to 20 years.
Since
I'm a
we were
little bit
9.
younger. Correct. Since we were 9, but somehow before Theya, Tula and I had never met. And
really?
I feel like in the Bay, especially in the music community, you're probably like 1 degree of separation away, right? From meeting
100%.
somebody that you've never met before. So I can't believe I never met her until we were in a practice space together. And I think, I had just quit a band, and I think Tula and Michael were kind of thinking maybe we could bring in a vocalist, and Michael texted me. I may be misremembering. It was really simple and organic.
It was
I
Mick's
came
idea,
in
but I
and-
texted you.
Yeah.
You did. Thank you, Mick.
he was the fire starter. He was the.
We were
I
in a band-
appreciate it
Yeah, we
still.
were in a band together, and it disbanded. And I was like,
Did.
oh, but I've played with Sam for years, and I was like, oh, do you want to play some metal music?
Yeah, you
And
wanna,
of course
you
I
want to come to the
did.
dark side? We have cookies. We don't have milk, but we do have beer. So
I want another guitar player. And
She did.
And then I was just like, I don't want to sing. Like, I feel like I just want to wank off on guitar.
Are you? Trust me, you.
She can wank so much now. Truly, as you've
As a
seen.
guitar player, I was in a band where I kind of sang a little bit, but I mostly just played guitar. And after that last band, I was like, I just love playing my guitar. I have no desire to sing or showcase my amazing godlike voice, which is undeniable.
You want to give us
You're
a
showcasing
sample?
it
You've
now,
got
man.
a microphone right in front of you.
I'm a little nervous. Well, we'll get back to that. We'll circle
You're
back to
doing
it.
great.
It's been a
Doing
while. If I had a
great.
guitar, how about this? That's basically what I like to do with the guitar. For verbatim. George has he told me one of my favorite things when I first started, because I've met George in another project where I was recording here, and he's like, what's with all the fiddly diddlies you do on your guitar? And I was like, excuse me, what?
Woodly doodly.
Exactly. I was like, well, first of all, Radio Moscow, that's all you need to go look up. Go look him up. Radio Moscow's incredible. But enough about me. Speaking
Wait,
of
is
bands,
that George's band?
No, unfortunately, that is not George's band. George's band is the Whatever Glades, and they are awesome.
Oh, I
George is
know.
awesome. We
I
like-
know
we love
this,
George.
I know this band.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time.
I know
They've
this
been gigging.
band.
They've gone to Japan and show. They're
Good
they're real
people.
deal. Good people.
peoples, too.
They do a lot of volunteer stuff. They all work the Mosswood Meltdown Festival.
Yeah,
and
I
donate
like
their
those
time and
folks.
stuff like
What's
that.
up, Whatever Glades?
Yeah, shout out to the squad, shout out to Lou, shout out to Tony and the whole gang out there. But dialing back onto like influences, you mentioned Heart. That was kind of I feel like that's definitely is like the baseline. Like you could start and build from there, and then you kind of went in your own direction a little bit while still staying true to the heaviness that is Heart. But what would you say are some of the other major influences for this project? And anyone feel free to speak up at their leisure.
I
He's
think
hit me on the next one.
I think everybody has a very specific, like, personal influence. and it's so eclectic. But I feel like for the overall sound of the band, that's probably best for you too. What do you think it was when you started, and how has it changed now?
Michael,
now I'm asking the
Please,
question.
you made my job so much easier. I love this band, guys. This
I
is the
love
best.
to ask questions. I'm a big questioner ever since I was a child and found out that grown-ups didn't like it when you ask questions. It just
Very
enabled
true.
me more.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm sorry I took charge there.
That's okay. Please,
To you too.
respect it.
I think Michael and I have had like such long conversations about every genre of music. Like I remember us getting really excited because we both love Warren Zevon. Right? Which
Shout out, he's an unsung
an
hero.
influence, and
yeah.
like Diamond Head, and like we're talking about the early, new wave, next wave of British metal, and Doom. We talked like a little, like of course, like Black Sabbath and all the classics. But we also like, the Helicopters, everything. I listen to a lot of classical music these days, so.
No, I could hear that, especially in your guitar play. You have these really interesting runs that definitely could, I could hear a little bit of that classical inspiration at times in some of your phrasings, and it's very, very tasteful.
Yeah, as a guitar player nerd, I was like listening to like some old Blue Oyster Cult song, and I was like, oh, I ripped that off. But no one's gonna notice, but playing that when you're a kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Back when you were, 7 years old. No, and I
that
think
was last year.
Yeah, exactly. That was last year. What a year it was.
This keeps changing rapidly. I'm losing track, but you're good
It's
at
on my
spinning this
Botox.
web. It's just frozen you in time.
Well, and speaking, you said Warren Zevon, that actually is the other half of the question. What would maybe be some of the more surprising influences that maybe not even that you put into the band, but just personally amongst you all that you think might be surprising to some of our viewers at home? Wait, you guys are a fan of Ariana Grande or whomever, you know what I mean? Who might be out of left field for you guys, inspiration-wise?
I prefer Alicia Keys over Ariana Grande.
Yes, 1,000%. Shout out to Alicia Keys.
Nothing against Ariana Grande.
That's so brave of you to say.
She was just here last year around this time of year at the ballpark, and she put on a hell of a show with the Skywire and the acrobat. She's a performer's performer.
So fucking amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other surprise? What about you, boss? What would you say are some of your bigger, not even necessarily for this project, but for your playing in general, by yourself? Who are some of your bigger influences, or maybe a surprise one?
I like the mid to late '80s type of guitar playing. I'm a big Jakey Lee guy.
Oh yeah, the lesser known Ozzy Osbourne superstar. Jakey Lee was.
I don't know.
Compared to Zakk Wylde and Randy Rhoads, the names that people are much more familiar with, I would say. But Jakey Lee absolutely shreds.
I love that era of music. I like the Priest. I like the mid '80s stuff as well, and I prefer that over the '70s stuff, which is sacrilege to say in this band.
That's all right. You're in a safe space. You're in a safe space, Toby.
I'm a punk rock guy too. I'm a big Turbonegro guy.
Okay, yeah.
I like that, and I grew up in Europe, so there's lots of German bands that I really, really love. All the Accepts and those type of bands.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a nice, well-rounded diet that kind of is on display here, definitely in your guys' style. And it's not only is it just unique to you, but it fits in perfectly with the band. So I now see why they recruited you and your services, sir. It seems like like-minded people like to stick together, and I like seeing that happen more in the music industry.
I'm inspired and influenced by so many different things for different reasons.
Yeah.
Musicianship, guitar playing, songwriting.
Yeah, it depends
lyrics,
on the mood, really, yeah.
I love Tom Waits. I love the way he sings, the way he writes. The Bronx.
Yes.
They're hardcore shit.
They are
the lyrics,
incredible.
their energy.
I saw them open for Thrice one time at the Regency maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I had no idea who they were. I was like, this might be better than Thrice. I'm a sacrilege. I'm a huge
They're
Thrice
amazing.
fan.
I would
Very
go,
good.
I would go that far.
Right?
Absolutely.
100%.
I would go that far.
Listen, I love you guys. Thrice, you got me through some hard times growing up, but the Bronx just really hits you right in the chest.
Plus they have
Yeah.
the mariachi Bronx.
Yeah,
They
that's
sure do.
right. I haven't listened to that. I've heard a little bit about that through my friends, but
they've done it so well. They're one of my favorite. The 3 or 4 albums.
It's a
they
great
have,
live
some of my
show,
favorite
too.
Albums of the last 20 years.
man, I got my homework
Because
tonight.
they just nailed it.
Yeah.
They did it like they should have.
They fully committed to the bit.
And it's they did both genres so well. I don't think there's really a lot of bands that's ever done that.
No, I mean, anyone who's able to just kind of still be themselves while pivot in a totally different lane, like your bands like King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard's the first one that comes to mind. Each album, it always sounds like them, but then they're just but it's us doing jazz fusion, or it's us doing a concept album about a computer taking over the world called Murder of the Universe, which I highly recommend you smoke a joint and go listen to that album. That is life-changing material, or maybe even a little bit something else to open your mind, we'll say. But enough about that. Let's talk a little bit more about your guys' music, because you currently have a total of 4 singles available online for people to check out, wherever you get your music, all that stuff, yada, yada, yada. But what is, I believe there's a rumor that perhaps a full-length album is coming soon, if I'm not mistaken. You guys care to talk about that a little bit? Feel free. Maybe we'll start with you, Sam. You ready to go?
It sure is. It's really happening. Schmidt has actually heard it as well because he got a little sneak preview.
Sounds absolutely awesome. I listened to it on the entire ride into work this morning. I just geeked out and was finishing up my questions. I was like, all right, I am ready to tackle this day. You guys got me pumped for the morning, so I appreciate that.
We had a lot of fun. You know, I think when I originally joined Theya, because I joined in 2022, and I think there was some, already established songs, and then there was some songs that we kind of wrote organically together and started working on and got really excited. Went into the recording studio. We recorded at Louder Studios with Tim Green, which was such a fun experience.
Earthless.
So many great bands.
Okay,
Tim's
so a little bit of
recorded.
legendary history there.
Absolutely. It's a
in
great...
the forest in Northern California.
Yes, it's...
Anytime you can be out in nature and have any kind of musical process like that, even if you're just writing, but people that actually capture it and record it, that is truly otherworldly special. So is there a name for this upcoming album, or is it just a self-title? You know what? If it's not there yet, we don't have to press the subject. We can keep some mystery.
It's called Schmidt.
There we
It's
go.
called Schmitty.
I love that. Please, by all means, the trademark is for free use. I am for the people, by the people. I am nothing without the people. And that's I was just going to ask you who you were working with on this project, and it sounds like, how did you meet this producer and get into that studio? How did that process work?
I was set to record with him in the band that folded before I texted Tula and said, let's start something.
Right.
And that didn't happen, and I wanted to record with him because it's up in a place that I love, that I've been.
He's a wizard.
He really is.
Like, he's legit a wizard. He was in the band called The Fucking Champs.
I don't know if I've heard of them.
More for your homework list.
Please. I swear, I need to keep just a pen and paper on me and write this
Melvins,
down. Okay.
Drunk Horse.
Right. Okay.
But he has a little area for the band to sleep, and you're there from the time you start until you're done recording the album.
That's incredible.
And it's up in the magical forest.
There's like a hot tub, and then there's like baby quail running around, and you're just like,
and deer that come up on the property.
Oh, and he has
the
one wall
moon
in
is
his studio
sparkling.
that's like covered with manzanita sticks. It's for the sound thing, but it's just like a little forest on the wall.
Just to help.
While we're recording, and I got my headphones on, I'm like, I love this forest that I get to look at while we're playing.
We're partial to forests and trees. We even have a song about an oak tree.
Oh, yeah.
I was just going to say.
As a magic portal. Yeah, we have songs.
Well, now I got to ask you about that. What's with the magic portal? How does that tell us a little bit about the?
Okay. My in-laws lived
unturned.
On a cul-de-sac, and at the end of the cul-de-sac there was a trail that went off into it's in Novato, and right at the beginning of this trail, at the end of the cul-de-sac, is this huge oak tree that's hollowed out in the middle, just about tall enough for a 4-year-old to walk right in.
Okay.
And me and my son went for a little walk, and he walked right in, and I took some photos, and it was fun and beautiful, and
special
inspired me
moments.
to write a song.
That's great. Letting life inspire you as it should, especially with your family. That's a nice moment now that you and your son get to have that for the rest of time.
Oh, Michael's kid is like magical. Like, he's 4 and going to these.
He's 8 now.
Portals.
He's 8 now.
Like me. Well, when my kid was 4, I'd come home from playing his show, and my kid would be like, "Did you play music?" And I was like, "Yes." Why? And he was like, "You smell like hot dogs."
I've never heard that one before, but I do feel like that is appropriate.
It all tracks.
For some reason, that is appropriate for the life of a musician. Like, yeah, it's either hot dogs or beer, and it's like, I guess I could live with a hot dog smell. At least I'm savory. Yeah. I don't mind being even more savory if that's ever possible.
All love hot dogs now.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially,
Savory was our second choice for the name of the album.
Absolutely.
It was.
But we decided to stick with Schmidt.
Schmidt, I think so. I think you're gonna be glad you did that. Let me tell you that right now. And that being said, that takes us to a very special segment that I believe we are getting ready to queue up right now. It is a man by the name of Mr. Dave Hughes. He runs a radio station in the East Bay called The Beat of Diablo on KVHS. I believe he was on KVHS. He might have moved on from there. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm very tired, and I'm 100% not sure on the lineage, but we love Dave, and we have a segment we like to do called Dave Has a Question. So we're going to go ahead and take it away to Dave.
Hey guys, it's Dave here from The Beat of Diablo. My question to the band, who did your artwork? It's quite beautiful. I see you've used it on a number of different digital releases, which implies that it's probably going to be the album cover or EP cover or whatever you got coming down the road.
Smart one.
And I can't find any credits currently for who did your artwork. So if a human being did that, and I really, really hope it was a human being. If a human being did that, I would encourage you to give them a little bit of credit so other artists in the community can consider hiring them should they be looking for a human being to make cover art for their work. All right, so yeah, who did your artwork?
Got the smooth jazz.
Shout out Superset A with track 9.
By the beach.
Nice. That's
Shout out
great.
to Dave, the Beat of Diablo. We love you,
Dave.
Dave.
All right.
That is an
Hey,
absolutely
Dave.
amazing question.
Great question.
Who did your artwork?
She is
Caitlin
credited.
Caitlin Matheson. She's done so much stuff. She did the last. What is it? I can't remember what is the big party in Golden Gate Park? Hardly Strictly.
Hardly Strictly Bluegrass. Yeah.
She does all the cool bands. She's
Poster
done, like,
art.
Black Crowes and Earthless, and she's
So yeah, our
highly
album
encourage- she will
art
be-
was hand drawn.
Oh wow!
By
a human being, by the way. By a human being. No AI was
Hand drawn
involved.
by AI. No hand
She's
drawn right here with that.
No.
She is like.
Don't worry, Stork
She is
Club.
so amazing, and maybe we can find her Instagram so you can kind of.
Yes, she's.
Her work is great, and you've seen her work. You've actually probably bought a poster by a band.
You
that-
might even have
yeah.
a poster.
As soon as you said Hardly Strictly,
Yeah.
I kind of looking at that, I was like, that absolutely clicked 100%. Like same kind of like, I like the kind of like, what's the word? It's like a faded, like vintage kind of yellowy color, like very old school and traditional, but with a very special touch.
She does all kinds of
Everything.
stuff, but it's really almost like these psychedelic like posters are like her specialty. She has like art shows, and we'll get you a link to her.
Hey, speaking of art, that brings me to a question I have for you.
Shoot, what you got, boss?
What size T-shirt do you wear?
I wear anything from a medium on a very good day to a large on a every day of my life usually.
Well,
Here's a large.
Nacho day.
What?
It just so
Designed by
happens,
Caitlin Matheson.
If you rip that open,
Oh, this is going right on. You guys talk about
Caitlin
yourself.
has
I gotta try on
done-
this damn shirt.
Caitlin has done some amazing art for us. Look at that, babe.
Fucking awesome. I am genuinely so happy right now. Thank you so much. This is going on. Sorry, Dark Satellite. I love you. But we got Are these shirts something that might be available at your upcoming shows?
Yes,
100%.
they sure are. You
And
can.
speaking of upcoming shows, I believe there is something happening this Saturday. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that show coming up? Oh, it fits perfect. Wow, I love you guys.
Hey.
Best band ever of all time, everybody. As far as I'm concerned.
Wow, of all time.
Of all time. Suck it hard. No, I'm just kidding. I apologize. I'm so sorry.
Time for a new screensaver.
I think I found it, guys. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the show coming up on the 20th? That's happening out at Cornerstone, I believe, in Berkeley.
Yeah, it sure is.
How's that one going? Who are we playing with?
Man, we're playing with the almighty Castle Rat. If you are, a fan of the metal genre, I think you've probably heard of this band. They have a really incredible live show. They're so much fun to see. They've opened up for Acid King when they've been in the Bay Area.
They're
They're
like
coming
a heavy
back.
metal like cartoon come to life. They have.
They
like-
really are.
They have like dragons and a plague doctor and boobs. Like it's pretty crazy.
And chainmail.
You had me
Big
at Dragon,
hair.
and now I'm sold on boobs. I'm sorry. I had to say it. I continue, though. So how did you guys get on this bill?
Oh man, we got really lucky. Thank you to whoever suggested us for this. We're also playing with Early Moods.
Early Moods.
Which we're really excited for. They're a really amazing band. I think Early Moods is taking up the West Coast part of the tour with Castle Rat. So I don't know how we did it. We're some kind of magic, like we were talking about in Rock and Roll Stars, but we're really excited to be there.
No, there does seem to be
Mostly
a certain,
witchcraft.
a magic around you. I mean, I'm transfixed. I'm intoxicated by you guys' energy. All 5 of you are absolutely, from a host standpoint, you're crushing it. I'm just gonna say it. No, I mean, I am a
We're
sucker.
just saying that because our album's named after you.
And I am wearing the shirt with the album. And obviously, I'm only going to take like 5% off the back end. So we'll talk about that later. We'll have my people call your people. But
which reminds me, I want to get back to Dave's question for a
Yes.
second. Caitlin will definitely be credited.
Absolutely.
She's credited any of the art that she's done for us. She's credited on our Instagram because we haven't done our official release. That's not out there, but I have to say, if you like that cover, wait till you see what she's made for this album.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I want to say it, but I don't even want to give it away. There's
No,
some
leave
really-
something for the folks at home to be excited about, build some anticipation. If you want to know, you're going to have to wait until the album comes out, and you're going to have to go get it from these folks. Perhaps at a show. Make your face known. Say, hi, I saw you on Talking Schmidt. I thought you were great. I want to get one of those badass fucking long sleeve t-shirts that they got. Unfortunately, you got to pay for it,
Here's
though.
a real quick shout out, though, to
Yes.
the amazing Henry Lewis, tattoo artist at Seventh Son. He did our logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For every heavy metal band, you need an essential logo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right?
He's
If you
also
need
a
it.
wizard.
I'm sensing there's a
Henry
lot of witchcraft going on with this group. right now. I
Wizards,
love it.
witchcraft,
Magicians.
magician.
Speaking of the new album, too, are there any specific tracks that maybe have a long-lasting memory or like something memorable from the recording process, or maybe even just an overall favorite song that you guys recorded and worked on for this album? We can even go down the list if everyone wants to name their favorite
I'm
song.
curious to hear what everybody's
Yeah, let's
favorite
go down
song
the
is.
list. Let's start
do
with
that.
Toby.
Yeah, let's start with
Toby, what do you like on the record?
My favorite track is
right into the mic there, but there we go. Gotcha. Make sure the
my
folks can
favorite
hear.
track is Into the Night.
And why is that? What about that song sticks out to you so much?
There's a lot of the songs I like. This one, it's like I feel nostalgic about it. It's the first one. We played that. My first show was for a birthday party, for Tula's birthday party.
When I was 12.
Yes.
Right.
This
so
year.
she had different guitar players come and play songs with the band. I was one of those guys, and the song that we played together was Into the Night, and we played a Priest song as well. And I feel like that song we really clicked. It really light bulbs. The light bulbs go off in your head, and you're like, oh, this works. This is nice.
Yeah, it's effortless.
Yeah.
I think that's a good sign of a
it's
good
not effortless
foundation.
because every song has like 5,000 riffs. So, but
effortless in the sense of like the connection is there. You don't have to force a connection or be like, I don't like this person necessarily, but we'll make it work kind of situation, which Lord knows that's how a lot of bands do not work. But there's
that song. I just have a special connection with that song.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one that made me realize how fun it is to be in this band.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys definitely convey the fun. And I got a couple good shots of you in there ripping it up as well. So everyone's getting their moment here. But I think that's a great one to keep an eye out for when the record releases. Michael, what about you? What would you say is probably your favorite song off this upcoming album?
I'm sorry. This is going to be a long answer, and I'm not even going to pick a favorite song.
You bastard, but I got to hear it.
I have the hardest time picking favorites for anything, anytime, and Tula will probably say it's got something to do with the day and time and
Your
place I
astrological
was
birth
born.
chart.
Planetary
Yes.
Absolutely. What time were you born?
Yes,
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
we're going to have to figure it
He's
out.
like a Libra, like everything.
Every kind
But-
of Libra you could be. A lot of air.
Classic Libra.
You talked a little bit about the connection. You understood that, like, that's what Toby was saying happened for him with
Yeah.
Into the Night, and that's one of the reasons it's his favorite song. This whole album is so collaborative. There's not one moment on it, not 1 second that doesn't have each of us in it.
Yeah.
And doing that together has been like you said, creating that connection, making that connection. It's also been such a lesson in trust and letting go.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And I'll pick two. The two songs that I've been having the most fun playing
There we go. Yeah, I like that.
have been Permafrost.
Yes, that's a great one. I think that was the first song I heard from you, and that's why I heard the Zardos, and I was like, oh, I'm going to love this band.
It's just really fun to play. Like I feel the drums,
Yeah.
the drum intro. I just like, it gets me excited. And like, as it progresses, like I love playing that song. And, I'm going to say Into the Night as well because of how it came together with Toby and what happened with it. We also challenge each other. And, through the writing process, there have been some things that Tula has brought in that, like, I didn't know what to do with. I'm like, what do I play to this riff? It's fucking amazing as it is. You should just play it all by yourself. Like, no, it's part of the song. You
like,
got to
well,
do something.
That's fine, but I want to take this riff and turn it into a song. And you know what I mean? So we're going to need some more
It
parts.
challenged me to like play differently, to find my place inside that one riff.
Yeah, and having that kind of comfortableness, if you will, with the group, even though there might be, moments where, things clash together sometimes, but knowing that you're in a safe space and gives you that freedom to really explore your own self and your own creativity to then come up with the best possible thing, I think that's a great sign of a great band in the makings.
Yeah. Also, so there was an element of that within the band in pulling that song together, and the lyrics for that song are pretty personal to me, and it was a lot of trust and letting go for Sam, giving that to her and asking her to sing that, and just like what she did with it is better than I could have expressed it.
No, absolutely. I mean, the vocals, the guitar, I mean, there isn't a single part of this that is not like at peak performance level. And the fact that you guys were all able to, or I'll say smart enough even, to be able to get together and make this band possible is really inspiring, and a good note for all the bands out there that are maybe considering forming. If you have some people in your life that you love and you know that you all can make some music together, just get in a room and see what happens, because you might find the perfect scenario where you're like, wow, I feel like I'm growing as a human being in my art project. Is that what this is supposed to be like? It's not just getting drunk on a Tuesday night and playing at the dive bar, which is fun too. You got to put in your licks, but it's a growing experience being in a project. It's very personal. And like you said, having that trust is very, very rare to find sometimes. So I'm very happy that you have that with you, and you're able to take your own honest opinions and feelings inside and give them, and lyrics, and give them to Sam, and have her be able to really express them in her amazingly talented way. So what about you, Sam? What would you say is some of your favorite songs off the new upcoming album?
I feel like I'm also annoyingly gonna pick two, but there's a
That's all
caveat
right.
because I think I teased about one of the songs maybe when we were playing live, because we played it as our outro song there before we came into the interview. I think my favorite song is actually Oak Tree at the End of the Lane. Also, it's called, the full title is The Oak Tree at the End of the Lane.
Okay.
All of our songs really sound like they could be like a Stephen King novella or something. You know what I mean?
I love that though.
I think Oak Tree, talking about collaboration, when you have multiple writers in a band, not just writing musically, but lyrically as well. When I first came into Theya, Michael and Tula had been pretty busy writing, and they had 4 or 5, 6 structured songs that they had been working on and playing on as a set. And Oak Tree at the End of the Lane was the first song that Michael came to me and was like, hey, let's collaborate on this. And to his point of just being able to write and work with other people that you respect and admire, it was a really cool opportunity the first time coming into a band where you get to actually put some artistic touches on things and
not
throw
just
in
come in
some
and necessarily
lyrics.
fill in like a spot or something like that. You're able to put yourself into the role and kind of make it work for you, so to speak.
Yeah, totally. And so it was a really fun collaborative process. The songs we had done before were, established, and there was a lot of space to kind of make it my own, essentially. Tula and Michael were sharing the singing load before with some songs that they'd already established, and there was a lot of trust and care, and I think intention with each other about making sure I got it right. Like, it matters to me to do something that everybody in this band likes, they can be into, and we have a really respectful relationship when it comes to that way, because we all admire each other and want to continue working together. So it's really really important to us to do that and make sure we get it right. But that was such a special song, just being able to do that for the first time. My second favorite, we do, and it's not a Theya song, we do a Ronnie James Dio cover called Caught in the Middle. And, speaking of nerds, and speaking of influences, I think if I've ever thought about vocally where I've gotten to now, it would be a million things. And I was trying to answer this with a friend of ours outside of a show who was inquiring, like, you have an interesting voice. Where does that come from? And I was trying to do it, and I can't do it here because it'll take us all damn night. We'll never play a song ever again. But, when I think of somebody like Ronnie James Dio, of course, like, if you think of Dio with heavy metal, it's synonymous. But I think one thing about Dio for me, especially as a young person getting into music, and I was kind of a punk rock kid, but I dabbled in metal and all kinds of different things, because we're all so many influences that make us a person or a musician. But Dio has such a way of finding words I couldn't find. And
Right.
so many of those songs and so many of the messages that he's getting across in the songs, I think that's a great challenge for us in Theya as well. You know, we may have had these guidelines up front about we're not going to write about X, Y, and Z, but there's a lot of metaphors that I think are still, these songs are still extremely personal. And I can't think of a more personal song than Caught in the Middle to me when I sing that song lyrically. I've been singing that song since I was, 12 or 13 in my bedroom. And now we're singing it in a certain way here live with each other. We recorded it because we tried it in the practice space a couple of times. And we all kind of got goosebumps, It has a lot of power. And of course, I love Ronnie James Dio.
No, and it fits your oeuvre so perfectly. We were sound checking it earlier a little bit. I was like, I swear to God, I feel like this is a cover song, but it also could just be one of their songs. And I didn't want to cross that line. So when you're like, no, this is actually a cover song, I was like, oh, that makes that fits perfectly. But it does genuinely have your guys' touch and your own personal flair to it. It does seem like a song that might have, the rock gods have written for someone like yourselves to pick up and play down the road. So, and of course, it's always important to pay respects to the legends. So shout out Ronnie James Dio, A Rainbow in the Dark. Gone but not forgotten, damn it. Gone but not forgotten. What about you, Tula? Favorite song on the upcoming record?
I have 2 songs.
It's all right. Go ahead. We can double dip.
I'm one
Go
of
right
those
ahead.
people, though, that their song changes all the time.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I said earlier. It depends on the mood and the day, definitely. Led Zeppelin's my favorite band, and then the next minute it's Black Sabbath, and the next minute it's Jeff Buckley. It just depends on the mood.
I like all those things.
I love them.
So speaking of Black Sabbath, though, I have a really old dog with dementia, and his name is Ozzy.
Shout out to Ozzy.
Yeah, right. And then I have the other singer of Black Sabbath. I have a little dog named Ronnie James, and we named him Ronnie James when he was like a puppy, and he loves to sing, and he never got very big. So.
Yeah.
But he's.
Oh, you have no idea. It took me about a split second to catch that. I loved it so much. I
He was
loved
probably
it.
the run, but he's a great singer.
Yes.
But there's a song called Beasts of Hate that I'm really looking forward to, and I've been listening to it a lot because I really want to do it with Toby. It's got a lot of Iron Maiden influences in there. But the intro is like a classical piece that I wrote for my little dog because he's, they're sneaky. They're like little weasels.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I got a little dog at home.
Yeah, the intro for that song is called The Sad Lament of the Weasel King. But it's really my dog when I'm not feeding him dinner on time and playing guitar. So
Exactly. You're like, well, here's some notes then. Like
that one, because,
it's such a gorgeous piece if you listen to it and then you think about, oh, this is about Tula's dog. But, it doesn't take away from the beauty. It's a great piece.
Inspiration strikes in all places. So Ty Segall has a song called Fanny that's written about his wiener dog named Fanny, and it's literally just him talking to his dog.
You
It's
said
amazing.
wiener, and I was like, uh-oh, where's this going?
He's
but
talking
you said
about
wiener
his
dog.
Dachshund. There we
smells
go.
like hot dogs. Smells like hot dogs.
Hey, why'd the cowboy get a wiener dog?
What's that?
Why'd the cowboy get a wiener dog?
Why'd the cowboy get a wiener dog?
Because he wanted to get a long little doggy.
Fuck.
Michael,
I'm usually the king of that kind of humor, and I can't believe there's 2 jokes back to back that I have not heard before. This is a rare occurrence, so I love you guys. Please.
Michael's not wearing his dad hat, but he does have a dad hat, and I feel like the dad jokes just come out of him. They flow.
I'm like, this is making me
like
awkward.
poetry.
Some say it's low hanging.
For one of them about one or two at practice usually.
Some say low hanging for. They used to call me Cornball Wallace because at band practice, they're like, here comes General Cornball Wallace, and I'm like,
you made the cameraman laugh on that
Sounds like
got
you're a
him.
variety
Dang, you
show
did
host.
good.
I was gonna say, a host of sorts, but we postponed it to now. We do it Talking Schmidt live at the Complex is what we're going with here. But you said there was 2 songs though, so the other song
My
being
other favorite song is I have this song called Jupiter, and I remember I was trying to play I can play it for a minute, but not as long as he can. Is Disposable Heroes, from
Oh yeah, of course, sure.
because James
Master
Hetfield has
puppets.
this magical right hand. So I kind of wrote this riff because it's got this little triplet in it, and then I was thinking, I was like, we had this joke, my partner and I, who's a guitar player, about James Hetfield's right hand, and I was like, oh, but there's a Philip K. Dick book called The 3 Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. And the main character has a robotic right hand. So Sam actually sings the lyrics about that. And I'm a big
That is
Philip
robotic right
Dick
hand.
That's what they called him, the Philip K. Dick band.
Very fitting. I like that.
I didn't know that.
Well, good to know there's a community for dickheads. Maybe I should get into the fan letter a little bit and know about your meetings.
What would you recommend as I love Philip K. Dick as well. I'm curious, what would you recommend to Schmitty as a starting Philip K. Dick book?
Flow my tears, the policeman said.
That's a good one.
Flow my tears.
The policeman said.
The policeman said.
Very relevant to what's happening today.
All right, well, add that to the reading list. I'm looking for a new book now that I'm just about finished with the Dwayne Allman anthology I've been reading. So now I got something new to dive into.
Love it.
Mick, what do you got, buddy? What is your favorite song or two?
Sure. Yeah. No. I'm a bookend with Toby with "Into the Night" because it was like I think it was the first song that we wrote with Sam, and we'd been on a Dio kick, and for me, especially the drums, I love Vinny so much, and like there's multiple parts in that song that are directly taken from him, and from the Holy Diver album.
Yeah.
And I think my favorite right now is "The Myth." I am.
That's not on the album.
That's not on the album.
Myth of I's not on there yet. We played it in the set.
Yeah.
but
So we did play
it will
thing.
be.
Yeah,
So
but it's one
So
of
it's a live performance. So if you want to hear him do it, you got to come out to the shows. You got to come support him.
It's true. Yeah. So yeah.
I think those are excellent choices. We got some stuff on the album. We got some stuff not on the album, but there is a whole lot of music going on amongst this band is the point, everybody. So get in while the getting is good. We are at 8:48, so we got about one or two more questions left, and we're going to get you back up on the stage for another song or two, and we're going to end the show with a fucking rock and roll bang. I hate technology because my phone is unlocked. There we go. Now we got it. I'm getting there with one of these days. Let's start off with a very basic one. What is the best way for people to reach out to you? How would you recommend people contact you if they're interested in booking you, or if they just want to know what's going on with the band? How do people get in contact with you?
TheyaOnFire@gmail.com.
TheyaOnFire@gmail.com is the direct email link for them, so make sure you hit them up. But
Or if you go to our Instagram, which is Theya_band, we have a link tree. It has all of our contacts. It has any way you can contact us. A DM is great and very sufficient as well.
I think that's a solid way. I mean, you got to be on the Instagram, unfortunately. There's no other way around it. But I am still a firm believer of the email when it comes to being professional. As long as you got the band email, we can keep everything on track. That being said, where would you like to see the band in a few years from now? Do you guys have any long-term goals? Or are you just kind of taking it step by step and still figuring stuff out? But what would you like to say 2 years from now or 5 years from now? Where would you like to see your band grow to?
We'd have a whole cult, I think, at that point.
And honestly, I think that might be the most logical next step with all this witchcraft and wizardry going on. You might be able to convince a few people to join the cause.
Just really pushing ourselves. I think one of the reasons this band, like, we can take a germ of an idea and it just expands and gets bigger and bigger and bigger because, you would think, oh, it's restrictive to not sing about, partying or, whatever, relationships.
It's not. It's like finding a different way to try to express what you're feeling or what you're going through. There's metaphors. There's just more complexity, and I think there's more nuance. So it's a fun thing to explore together.
It's making you put in the work as opposed to, like you said, it's very easy to be like, I want to rock and roll all night. I can write 1,000 of those songs and it'd be fun.
And they're great. Not that those are not bangers,
No, of course, yes.
But
it's like if you're playing a game, do you want to play the game of life or do you want to play Dungeons and Dragons?
There you go. Oh,
so that's kind of the difference.
Holy shit. I'm going to sweat right through this shirt. That was freaking intense. I'm feeling a certain way after that.
He didn't talk a lot, but when he does.
I have to,
a silent sniper right there.
As a kid, I was convinced that song was like, I want to rock and roll all night and part of every day, which makes more sense because that's when you sleep.
Yeah, that's very logical. Like they're rock and rollers, but they got a good head on their shoulders.
He's also Canadian, so that's part of where that came from.
There you have it.
It could be that.
Now the truth comes out, but that's okay.
That's where it really comes from.
No, but I think that's a very good thing, and I think limitations can be, or purposefully set limitations and boundaries can be really good for a band because it forces you to really think about what you're writing and put in the effort and put in the time so you're not phoning stuff in. I mean, I've definitely phoned in certain things with certain projects that I wish I hadn't of, and I go back and listen to it, and I'm like, man, I really wish I would just said what I was really thinking or really put my own 2 cents into it, and to keep that honesty amongst yourselves, and that creates that kind of trust you were talking about and that connectivity. It all just blends together to help create a great environment, which is what you need in order to create great music, which is what you all make.
Because thank you. But it's like the thing, like, we as a band, we're really good at like, kind of coming to the concept of what is best for the song.
Yes.
Not like it's not like an ego process where like, well, I have to have a little part here. I go, where like
growing up is so rewarding sometimes, and you're like, oh yeah, it doesn't have to always be about me. That's great to hear because that took a long time for me to learn. But I think that's great. Being able to just grow together like that helps, like I said, just makes what we've been hearing today, which is just fucking all around fantastic, heavy music. Everybody, make sure you follow them on Instagram, Theya_band. We got some more music for you. You guys ready to rock the fuck out for us?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's go.
Alana, we're sending it back up to you. We're going to take one more final commercial break. I'm going to be up in the booth. I'm going to be still wearing the shirt because you can't fucking stop me.
Yeah, you are. Schmidt.
Try to stop me. It's the new album, Schmidt. It's coming out soon. Make sure you follow them for all updates on that. Everybody, we'll be right back with Theya right here on Talking Schmidt live at the Complex. Let's go. Pause for dramatic.
Right now I'm satellite and I refuse to quit. The flow is like jumping on board. I'm the best person for this type of Don't try to front on your boy. You can't avoid the front of the bay. You need to focus on me. I'm on your tongue every day. I'm Z Dazza. Focus motherfucker today. Local artists spitting like there ain't nobody dope in the A. Soak your brain. Fools are bogus in this game. Where they complain how they got their fans took away. Took from who? The white kids on the stage who used to follow you until you passed away. Now you weak. Ain't nobody tripping for your record, bang. I'm the N-word with A at the end of it. I ain't your favorite, somebody favorite. Who put you in rotation. Now I'm your replacement. I'm the heat. Say whatever she say. Anti-nerd, anti-afraid of anything. Next thing, I've been in this shit for so long. Before they put me on, I wrote 700 songs. You better notify. Yeah, they call me Z-Mani. Living in the Bay where the top of C's hate me. Better notify. Yeah, they call it the Z Daily. They want me to come out and perform for wall payment. Better known as Z-Dazzle. Z-Man's a man who's too gone for battle. Greedy Z should've got his dough. Greedy Z should've got his dough. Is that word Billy on your skeleton, darling? Did I come to Complex to get this started? Am I known for flowing at the backyard book? You dirty ranchers, where they got the bathroom pussy? RD! Cash fell off your arm, baby. Hot, wet, rough girl, you can't blame me. Young titties flashing, it's good to be here. All of my rallies and all the free beer, 2 and those. Went on the road, people think that I'm paid, but I ain't. I made per diem and opening act, who can't get a taste of the bank. Those are my fucking candles on top of the cake. They want me to blow. A lot of folks don't support me. I'm looking for shows. They're having babies. I'm recording, working on home, making 4-track tapes. All my rallies love here to the Midwest Lake, where they sitting in the city and out on the farm. They can paint without a scribe girls right on their arm. With an ink pen, me plus them, me brought friends. Yes, we real people sitting with you drinking. Little apple pie. Yeah, they call me Z-Mani. Living in the Bay where the top of C's hate me. Yeah, they call it the Z Daily. They want me to come out and perform, but won't pay me. Better known as Z-Dazzle. Z-Man's a man who's too gone for battle. Hey, what was you talking about? Check it. This ain't traditional. This is the original rap tour where DJs and MCs will not get blackballed. Wannabe promoters, fools yelling hip-hop and every fucking rhyme they write. When I'm on the mic, all this little get pushed to the corner. I'm looking at a flyer like, why ain't on it? I am not here to piggyback of no half-rap cats who think I'm finna sit in the back. You better tell them, Ricky. You ain't shit.
You good? You good?
I meant every word of it.
Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome to the Complex here in beautiful downtown San Francisco. I am your pal, Steve Wardmore, and this is What's Poppin', the Bay Area's arts and entertainment talk show. Each episode features hilarious and insightful interviews with local Bay Area celebrities. Also, the people behind the scenes of the coolest venues and events happening in the Bay Area. We have a brand new house band that comes in to perform live for us right here and for you at home on your devices. Join us every other Monday, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Be a part of the revolution, be a part of the family, and you never know who's gonna stop by the studio over here.
Okay, Horde guitars, what they got? They got pickups, and they got these pickups. They got more pickups. Ooh, look at this pickup. Ooh, and they got this pickup, and then that pickup. Ooh, there's so many pickups. Oh, more pickups.
Boy, I tell you what, that sure was a lot of fun. I always like to learn something new whenever I do these interviews. If nothing else, just new perspectives from talking to fellow artists in the Bay Area. And as a former guitar player, I guess I'm still a current guitar player. That doesn't really stop. I still have hands and the ability to do it. It was very nice to be able to chat with those fine folks. They were incredibly sweet. And the fact that they gave me this truly badass... I'm going to move this mic for a second. I just want to... Look how awesome it is. This is legit. I'm so happy. I'm like a 5-year-old who just got told they can pick anything they want out of Toys R Us. This is the best day ever. And I'm including the date of my son being born. I'm just kidding. I don't have any children. I'm just not for this old salty sea dog here, but enough about my salty sea dogs. We're here to talk about music. And that being said, we got a couple more songs from the incredibly talented Theya coming right at you right about hitting the button now. There it is.
Hit that button, Schmitty.
dude is electric and it reaches from inside. You understand all the things you once denied. Just stop, put up your mystery, take you further. Broken and bruised, and you're the damn. Want to have seen it, you can't turn away. It's failure, it's violent, so hard to control. Don't be destroyed by the things that you don't know. Oh, wow. Thank you. Fuck on. Thanks, Schmitty. Thanks, Complex Crew.
Holy shit, everybody. I don't want to clap too much into the microphone because I don't want to damage your eardrums, but that was absolutely fucking jaw-droppingly heavy. That was all of the mass and gravity in the world compiling into one moment right there. That was a lot of fun for your old pal Schmitty here. So I hope it was a lot of fun for you fine folks at home as well. Thank you to Theya for coming in. I hope we all learned a little bit about the importance of magic. But even more important, a little thing called friendship. Okay? Can I get an amen? That's a no. I should have seen it. I don't know why I thought any sincerity would come from this side of the room on that note. That is entirely my fault. But what was sincere was that performance you just saw on stage. So make sure you go and follow Theya on Instagram at Theya_band. Make sure you check them out Saturday, September 20th. Out at Cornerstone in Berkeley. Watch them. Keep an eye out for them because they got a new album coming out called Schmitty, so you know it's going to be a banger. They might change the title. And you know what? I won't hold you to it. You can call it whatever you want. If you want to name it Schmitty, you have my blessing. But if not, it'll probably sell more copies. But that being said, make sure you give them a follow. That was incredible. I want to say a big thank you to Theya for coming on the show tonight. Thank you for being a part of this. That's it. That's going to do it for us this week, everybody. Another successful show, another successful band shirt added to the collection. And it's a long sleeve shirt. You have no idea. I don't think I've ever really gotten a band long sleeve t-shirt that I can think of. No, I think this is an actual first. So kudos to you fine folks. Now I got to get some notes because I got some good stuff coming up, like a brand new episode of Talking Schmidt live at the Complex. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't, and if not, that's okay. I understand. It's going to be happening Wednesday, October 1st, featuring the one and only Bliss Abyss. We'll get a flyer going for that real soon, so make sure you follow me on Instagram at Talking Schmidt Live to stay up to date on all things Talking Schmidt related, whether it's this, or whether it's the What's Poppin' appearances I like to do when I'm available, or the radio program I do, or any of the bands I'm trying to help promote on this dang thing called the interweb. Make sure you follow me there, but don't stop with the goodness there. Go give the Complex SF a little bit of a follow on Instagram as well. All the links to their stuff is through my bio as well. What's Poppin', Check the Rhyme, Freestyle Flow Fest, all the good stuff, the live streams they got going on with Vesuvios. They got a lot of stuff here. They got a lot of dogs on the fire, speaking of hot dogs. It was brought up earlier. Don't give me the look. That wasn't completely out of left field. That was fair. That is fair. That's in the ballpark, Frank, of fairness, we'll say. I had to double down. I'm sorry. I got an audible boo. Hey, you know what, George? I said I appreciated you. I took some vulnerability and accountability. No, you're fair, though. You're absolutely right for that boo. It was justified. But that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. Follow us on Twitch. If you guys really want to be champs, you can subscribe at $6 a month. It helps keep this place running afloat by providing all the good stuff we got here, all the accoutrement we provide for the vans. That is all in a big part due to what George and the Complex do here, but also from you guys subscribing. So again, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf where you're watching right now. There should be a little subscribe, a little follow button, whichever one you're comfortable with. But please, price of a cup of coffee for a whole month of me. You get me at least twice a month, and that might be too much for some people, but for the ones who are diehards, I fuck with you heavy, and I love you. That was a great night. Thank you very much, everybody. We will see you October 1st for the next episode of Talking Schmidt live at the Complex with your old pal Schmidt here. Oh, that was an audible thud. Alrighty, everybody, take it easy. And so when I want to go out, I just hit the outro button, correct, and then it goes. So outro is what the outro is. Yeah. That makes sense. I should write that one down. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Twitch channel known as the Complex SF. Bye.
My fellow humans, and welcome to the Complex here in beautiful downtown San Francisco. I am your pal, Steve Ward Moore, and this is What's Poppin', the Bay Area's arts and entertainment talk show. Each episode features hilarious and insightful interviews with local Bay Area celebrities. Also, the people behind the scenes of the coolest venues and events happening in the Bay Area. We have a brand new house band that comes in to perform live for us right here and for you at home on your devices. Join us every other Monday, twitch.tv/thecomplexsf. Be a part of the revolution, be a part of the family, and you never know who's gonna stop by the studio over here.